Okay. Do I know where Gifka landed?
Specifically, no. You don't even know who was on those two last escape pods that you
Oh,
saw.
okay.
Um,
Well,
and as so far as actually seeing them, you only know that they both sort of landed to the east of you, like anywhere.
I guess I'll grab my single use or single person first aid kit that doesn't do anything,
All right.
and my sword and my gun,
My soul.
All right. The
and
sword
then
has
I
suffered heat
will.
damage in the descent, and will need to be taken care of soon, or will perhaps lose its quality.
Right, and would I know what that stuff is?
You basically need to find the right type of metal and like a heat source of sufficiency to. But in general, resources, quote unquote, aren't specific. They're sort of a meta concept in this game. You need to get resources.
Okay, well, is there not anything salvageable from the escape pod I could use for that?
You can give me an awareness roll to see everything that is useful from your escape pod if you intend to leave the escape pod and don't want to use it for, communications or anything else, or as a
8.
shelter, which you would be well aware that they are capable of being turned into makeshift shelters.
8.
So with an 8, you are more than capable of recovering the data pad, which is also the shortwave communication device, and all your stuff. Nothing particularly special, though. Just sort of the basics.
Okay. Well, I'll use the
And,
data pad and say, hello, anybody there? Come in.
all right, to get the communications to work requires either a mechanic roll or programming or electronics. Honestly, they all sort of feel like the
Or
same
what?
thing to me. I don't think programming and electronics should be separate skills, but apparently they are.
I would see that programming is like getting additional things out of the datapad, and electronics is more using the datapad.
I feel like programming would be more useful in this situation because I have a 1 in that instead of a
Okay then.
1.
Well, that works for me. See, in my mind, it's either, no, you know what it is? The two that shouldn't be separate is mechanics and electronics. Because I think electronics is supposed to be like currents and stuff, but that's just an expression of engineering because it tells me that programming
I
on the
see
thing, it
mechanics
says,
as like fucking diesel engines and like
I,
big moving parts and that sort of stuff. Whereas
but in the
engineering,
future, that also includes like basic probably advanced electronics too. Probably like beams of energy zipping between. Anyway, we're getting off track.
I suppose
You
I
rolled
should
your.
keep that. Yeah,
You
yeah.
go ahead and roll your programming.
Well,
hey,
Yeah. So,
you could even re-roll that too if you wanted to.
yeah, go ahead, reroll that too. As a matter of fact,
can it be lower?
Yes, it can. Oh, well, that's
but it
perfect.
isn't.
So
Um,
there you go.
So you actually get you really succeed. Congratulations. It's at this point that Talios,
Mhm.
Gifka, and Caswell, you all here come over your data pad. Hello? From Cannon.
Gifka, come in. Where'd you go? Where are you? Anybody there? Anybody?
I will respond and go, ah, it's you. You're alive then.
Who's this?
This is Dr. Halls Talios. We met aboard the Reclamation.
Oh. Okay. Where are you?
On this data pad, does it show where these short-range communications are?
You mean which of the pods it's coming from?
Well, whoever's holding the data pad, like, does it show their location?
Oh, so the telemetry that you got from.
Well, I mean, like, I'd imagine it'd be like, this short-range communication is coming from this direction. And
Right.
it's this far away.
So that is a separate piece of information from the telemetry and getting the communications to work, which you can either of you access with a roll.
Okay. What are we rolling then? Just whatever
Programming.
Programming.
Electronics, if you put points to that, I'm honestly not going to consider. Electronics seems like it's neither here nor there to me.
6. So fail.
Yeah, okay. That's not good enough.
No, it's not.
Sorry.
I crash landed just on the outside of the the circle beam thing, the tractor beam, I can assume. There was some mechanids south of where I am. I'm heading north of my location now, or northeast, I guess you could say.
And to remind
Northwest,
you, Cannon, you do have the map. You don't have the telemetry.
Can I give map coordinates?
Yeah, the map has coordinates, and so you could read off specific longitude and latitudes.
I will do that.
So you can. So he reads off the specific longitude and latitude of. It's easiest for him to see where his crash was. So you get that dot, the dot that is specifically Talios. Well, in your mind, you get a dot because you didn't recover the telemetry data.
Okay. Well, I know that I'm next to the river, so I'll say anybody that can hear this, find the river and head north.
So he can't hear me? Is that what's...
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, didn't you? I thought you told me where you were.
Oh, I was heading towards him, but like it sounded like he just ignored what I said. Just like put out a broad range one.
No.
He's just also addressing other people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give out your location. The mechanids seem to have taken over a few of the pods, and they would have access to this information as well.
Alright, so I guess I would hear this.
Yeah,
You would hear this.
Jake
Jessica's
and I
also
need
here.
to
Do you want to
fix the
either
pods before we can respond?
Pardon?
Or do we need to fix communication before we can respond, or is it just
He
fine?
activated the communication successfully for everyone. So,
Okay.
so long as you have access to your pod, which all of you do still have, or to the recovered data pad, you're in communication. But Gifka, we haven't even gone over you landing yet at all. But yeah, go ahead and talk back if you want.
So I hear it.
Is it a roll to see if I can figure out where I am, like coordinate-wise, or can I just tell him?
You have to recover the telemetry as well.
Okay.
Oh,
Like,
and
I'm going to
that's
do
a
that.
mechanic
did you already do that roll?
roll? No.
I'm pretty sure Caswell did, but I don't think Gifka did.
I did not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you didn't even attempt it. Okay, go ahead and give me the roll.
That's a mechanic roll?
Or programming.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, you get the telemetry. So
No, you get the telemetry, boy.
you get all the blue dots that are on the map, including yours, and you know which one you are. So you're way south of everybody else.
Okay. Well, I'll let them know. Should I try to make my way towards you guys?
So he informs. He says he's informing you of his position, how far away it is.
I'll turn.
Yeah,
I'll
on the opposite
tell Gifka. I'll say, you need to be careful. The place is crawling with mechanids. If you can, arm yourself and try and be a little more quiet.
And quiet's not really my strong suit, but I'll try.
I think it's best if we set a destination to meet up, and then go radio silent, because I'm pretty sure they have access to what we do as well.
Did you say earlier
Best to assume
that you could roll to get exact coordinates, current coordinates from everybody from the data pad?
Yeah. So there's a separate thing from telemetry, which is sort of the GPS of the data pads, and you can roll a programming to access that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do that.
Damn.
All right. Yeah. You've activated the GPS on your thing. This one is not universal. This one, like the telemetry, is not universal.
All right.
So you have the GPS for the data pads for everybody, and you can see Talios moving north from his or exactly whatever direction Talios is heading in.
Northwest. I'm heading towards where I knew the other pods were, basically. So.
Okay. The jungle is thick. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to have to ask you for a survival roll to transverse it. However, Caswell, are you going to do anything other than recover the GPS data?
I'm going to I'm just doing so. What the hell was that sound? Somebody's phone going off. Whatever. I'm gonna message to everyone basically that oh, let me think how I'm gonna word this. All right. I managed to get everybody's location with the GPS. Wow. I seem to be trapped on the opposite side of a river compared to you guys. So I say we meet at roughly where the river, I guess meets the ocean. I guess that's what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, yeah.
This is an island after all. I'm gonna say
agree.
Maybe we can find maybe we can go from there and find an area more easily where I can cross.
Just to clarify, due to what you see, it might be an island, it might be a string of islands, it might be a peninsula. Your escape pods only took this picture. There does seem to be some stuff off to the south that might either be more islands or perhaps even the mainland. So it may or may not be an island.
Right. That's why I was hesitant on saying island.
Yeah.
But can I send an exact coordinate?
To you or to where you want to go?
Wait. Who's that coordinate?
Dunno.
I guess it's drawn now, but
No,
I mean, can I send an exact I want everybody to meet there. Can I send an exact coordinate?
like we
to
said
everybody?
earlier, the map that you have downloaded has longitude and latitude marked
Yes.
on it. So you can give exact coordinates for where you
Yeah.
want people to meet.
All right. Sorry.
And it's everybody else who has the map, at least, can know what they're in general heading for.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
I'll send.
So
I'm gonna. I'll
upriver.
upload those as well. I'll upload those to everybody and just basically say that's where we should meet.
Well, you don't need to upload it. You're just
You know what I mean?
saying.
I'm saying words.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what I
saying
mean.
the words. You're communicating it with your mouth words. And you want to meet at the northern mouth of the northern exit of the river? I forget
Right
exactly
there.
what the...
Roughly there.
Right, yeah. I think it is mouth. Okay. So he gives you guys those coordinates. Gifka, you get those coordinates. That's the entire breadth of the entire island.
Yeah.
We'll start
The path
walking.
I'm gonna take, I'm gonna go around here and see what this is, and then follow
Alright.
the river this way around.
You're not gonna heed Talos' warning about.
Can
it
you see?
being-
Can you mark again what this was?
Like this
Just
area
draw a
over
line
here.
of where you're going, man. Just draw a
Oh.
line of how you're walking there.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
pings are lagging, so I don't actually get them in line
Okay.
with you speaking.
Basically go over here, because I know there's other civilians around there.
So you actually want to check the edge.
Yeah, see if there's anybody that survived the crash,
Okay.
and then go around this way, basically.
All right. And do you want to attempt to recover the data pad and bring it with you?
Yeah.
That's awareness.
Okay.
Nice
Alright,
roll, dude.
You recover it. You recover it quite easily. And all the other miscellaneous small survival supplies.
Yeah. How badly broken is my sword, by the way?
Your sword needs the same stuff that Cannon's sword.
So it suffered
needs.
heat damage.
Something. Just make up a type of damage, whatever one you want it
Okay.
to suffer. Heat damage was the most plausible one.
Sexy
It got
damage.
kind of bent in the crash, and it will definitely not survive many uses without losing its effective edge and just becoming a piece of metal.
All right.
Okay.
So this is really dumb, but I want to turn off the GPS in my datapad.
Specifically?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mostly
and by the
because
way, have
I'm
you guys,
worried about.
Talios, recommended a radio silence. Are any of you guys like, yeah, we're on board with that?
Oh yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah, I agree
Well,
with
So
him.
basically, turning off all electronics and whatnot, and then heading that direction.
Okay.
I'll say, well,
The moment-
if he's gonna do that, I'll say, just one more thing, Gifka.
Yeah.
If I don't get another chance, I want to say, I'm sorry I called you Asquatch earlier.
Wait,
It's funny because you cut out while you were saying that.
No.
I think he turned off his thing early or something like that. I'm sorry I called you. Boo! It's like,
It is exactly what happened. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll leave it at that.
So then you guys institute radio silence, and your things shut off. Almost immediately after that happens, Gifka, I need an awareness check.
damn.
Nice.
Holy shit, man.
You hear rustling in the bushes behind you.
I look to see what it is.
I shoot the bushes.
When you say look to see what it is, do you merely turn, or do you actually approach the bush to investigate?
I turn.
Just
I don't
shoot
approach
blindly
it,
into the woods.
You see the thick, unforgiving jungle, vines dangling from tree branches and etc.
So by behind me, you mean the opposite direction that I plan on going?
Yes,
Okay, I'll just head away from it then.
you're just going to head away from it.
Yep.
Good call. Good call.
Okay, I need from both at this point, Talios and Gifka, survival rolls to progress through the jungle to get to where you want to get to.
I imagine
that's
I don't need
+1, by the
just
way.
following the coast.
Yeah, you're not going to need one.
That's a +1 on mine, by the way, and I'm gonna re-roll the 2. Alright, we did nothing. So my score is 13.
I got
Right.
a 6.
Okay. Yeah, you make a beeline, Dr. Talios.
Here's the thing, though. I'm not gonna be in the clearing. I'm gonna sit outside of the clearing and wait for people to show up before I go into the clearing.
Okay, but you're not there yet.
Cool.
You have to travel whole jungle, and I have to describe it to you, because I'm the GM.
Trust me.
So yeah, you do go straight for the destination. You travel correctly through this jungle. The going is slow. It's a thick jungle. It has been undisturbed as far as you can tell. You do notice something, which is that it is unusually quiet. I don't know if your character has experience in jungles at any point. He's ever landed on a jungle planet and been involved in jungles in any way. But certainly the information, the stereotype that you've been led to believe from, at the very least, documentary vids that you may have watched in your pursuit of biological information.
Sure.
The stereotype is that there should be chattering monkeys and squawking birds and all sorts of colorful noises which you are not actively hearing much of. You get the noises of bugs.
That's actually more normal in a rainforest than squawking of birds and monkeys and stuff. But okay.
Right.
Yeah.
There are bugs, but there are no other noises. It is eerily quiet, is the point.
Okay. Well, I'm going to slow my pace down, and I'm going to try and get there quieter so that I can hear any other sounds.
Your slower pace will make this roll easier.
Okay.
An awareness roll.
Okay. Nine.
9. That is a success because of your slower pace. As you are crossing a small stream, not marked on the map, just enough to make a break in the trees, really, you notice in the sort of to your right, there is an non-jungled structure of some kind. It seems to be a very polygonal structure that is overgrown with moss.
Okay.
It does not appear to be mechanid technology by your reckoning, because almost all mechanid stuff is very silvery with lights, and this seems like the kind of metal that you've seen Kaltorans work with, or corporate, very black, blues,
Is
grays.
it like an obelisk, or is it like a shelter?
It might be a shelter.
Okay.
It might be like a platform or something. It's definitely very but it
All right.
doesn't look.
I'll investigate. You've piqued my curiosity.
Okay, you can easily move over to it. There's no additional survival roll or awareness check.
Okay.
As you approach it, you notice that it seems to be a trapezoid sort of shape, and part of it is on one part of land where its figure is off on ground floor, but it moves into a hill, a rocky outcropping, and presumably continues onward.
Okay. Is
So
there
it
like
may
an
be some
entrance or something like that?
to a cave or something.
Yeah.
Which sort of naturally leads you to the side that faces outward from that.
Okay.
Because if it was such an entrance, which you concluded that would be where the door was. And all you find is a smooth surface that is completely covered with moss.
All right. Let's brush the moss away.
All right. There's no roll to brush the moss away.
Give me a defense check. No, damn it. No. Yeah. I brush it away, and then I want to take a look at what's underneath.
This is what you see, and I recommend a much closer zoom than the previous.
Okay.
On the worn and old metal is a symbol that you see here.
Yeah.
There is writing underneath the symbol, but it is in a language that you are not familiar with.
Okay. Is it Hyzion? Ixion?
No.
Okay, then I don't know it.
However, you could make a culture roll
Yeah,
to get-
I mean, shit.
to
why
get
not?
some piece of information from this.
Culture is -4.
You know enough. What you can intuit is that it seems like you've seen this sort of configuration of lettering and symbology before.
All right.
This is the sort of thing that corporates love to do to advertise their business. They'll have a specific symbol that is theirs, and then like the name of the company. However, that's just a wild guess. You certainly know nothing about the language it's in or the meaning of the symbol, if it has any inherent meaning.
I thought everyone understood corporate.
Pardon?
I thought everyone understood corporate as a language.
It's
of
not
business.
corporate.
Okay.
The language is not corporate. It does not remind you. I'm just saying it invokes a
right.
sense of familiarity.
Is there
Or
any
even-
sort of handles or openings or what have you to get into this place?
Yeah, brushing the moss totally away, not just seeing the symbol.
Yep.
You can see what is clearly a door,
Okay.
but there is no apparent mechanism for opening it. It's all smooth surfaces up to the door. The door itself is just slightly receded in, and then is just smooth surface.
Does it look like it's supposed to open electronically when it's in the presence of a person?
Like as if someone,
Like, you know, opening
like
doors.
Star Wars.
Yeah, sort of thing. Yeah.
That would have to be like a electronics or mechanics roll to see if that is the type of door that those typically are.
7.
7 is not a success, and to your knowledge, it is not that type of door.
Okay. Can I push on it?
Yeah,
I push on it.
it does not give at all. It feels incredibly sturdy.
Can I lift it from the bottom up?
No, because there's nowhere to get your fingers under it.
Okay. But there is obviously a crease as
yes,
to like where
you
a
can
door
see that there's a
would go.
crease there, but it's probably like the type of crease that only a laser could get. It's perfect.
Interesting. Does it look like it's been sealed or welded shut or anything like that?
It doesn't look like it has been tampered with. It looks like there isn't, for example, like you said, welding. But it does feel incredibly sturdy and sealed.
Alright, I'll mark the location down on my map, and then I'll continue to the zone where we said we'd meet up with the survivors.
Okay. You have to make a survival roll to guess where you are because you don't have your GPS turned on. And you've just traveled through you've traveled correctly.
9.
All right. So I'll allow you to mark a general area where you think you are. It's not perfect, but it's certainly, you'd certainly probably be able to find it again if you got back to that general area.
Okay. Alright, then. That's good enough for me.
But I have to load this up first to get there, and it's being a little slow. I apologize.
Alright.
It's somewhere in there.
Okay, cool. That's perfect.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to move to Caswell now.
All right.
You also have to make a survival roll to transgress from your location to where you're trying to go.
I
Did
never
you do
did
that
salvage
already?
my.
Pardon?
Oh no, that's Caswell, sorry. I'm thinking of Gifka. My bad.
No. Well, first off, I never did salvage my pod.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and, well, if you want to do something that nobody else has done, go ahead and ask. Otherwise, it's just going to be an awareness roll.
I want to salvage my pod, and obviously my rifle obviously is damaged.
Yeah,
So I want to
it'll
look for any
work
parts
for now.
I want to see if I can salvage any parts specifically from the pod that I can repurpose to fix the rifle.
I take a thruster and put it on the rifle.
Okay, so this is a mechanics roll of extreme difficulty. Like,
All right.
I
probably
probably
higher
higher
than
out of pieces.
it's going to be really, really high.
Yeah,
It's-
I was thinking the same thing. Fashion a jetpack out of the parts.
The pod
Right.
becomes my rifle.
3d6 plus 1. Nope. Not shit. Alright, we know
You just
that
waste a
there.
bunch of time covering yourself in oil in the back of this escape pod. In fact, you have the sinking suspicion that you may have made useless things that might have been useful in your attempts.
It's like how you take apart a toaster, but then you can't put it back together.
Exactly.
Alright, let's see what I can salvage then.
All right. That's your awareness then?
Yeah.
You get all the same things that everybody else gets.
Alright.
Basic
Alright.
supplies, data pad, medical supplies that are there only because obviously it should have medical supplies, but they're not sufficient to actually matter with the way that
Damn.
health works in
Do
this system.
Kalturans get like a +1 to awareness, do they?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty neato. Alright, yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Um,
Now
I-
you need to make, if you
Kalturans
again
independent.
want to actually head to the location, a survival roll.
Yep. I'm going to look at the GPS, and I'm probably going to notice that there's at least one person missing off of it now,
Yep. You can notice that because he did indeed do that.
and probably also deduce the fact that it was that it was
Talios, the Nephilim.
Talios, who also mentioned going radio silent. So I'm going
Right.
to assume that he also meant completely disabling GPS. So I'm going to think that's a good idea and do it myself.
All right, you can make a programming roll to do that.
Oh yeah. Did he do a programming roll to disable his GPS?
Yes, and he succeeded.
Okay.
I don't think it's a very hard roll, but you can do it.
Yes,
Yeah.
you succeed. Congratulations. Your GPS is off. You're the
Alright.
only person who succeeded in turning it on, so now no one else knows whether or not GPSs are going off or on yet because no one's attempted it.
All right. I just want.
At this point, Cannon does in fact make it to the location, but if you want to follow him, you will need to do a survival roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the location. So 3d6 -1.
Okay. we'll talk about how you get lost and die in the jungle later.
But
For now,
today's
we will
not
talk
my
about
day.
my dying.
He like gets out of the quicksand. He's like, oh, all right, time to go find everyone. Walks into the quicksand. Fuck.